Hi everybody, Hassan Shariq, regulated Canadian immigration consultant, back with another video on Canadian immigration. My prayers and wishes that all of you, along with your families, are doing really well wherever in the world you are. Been a while that I've made a video on various express entry or points-based skilled migration programs. The reason was that a lot of these programs were closed. More recently, some updates have happened. Express entry draws started happening. They're happening frequently, although the cutoff score is very, very high. Which was expected again, but it's going to fall down as we have draws. And because of that, some of the PNP programs have opened up, or the qualifying scores in those PNP programs seem to be dropping as well. That was natural because express entry was not inviting applicants from outside of Canada. Even the CEC applicants were not being invited. So what happens with that is that PNP programs had higher qualifying scores. But as I mentioned, that things seem to be moving towards how they were pre-COVID. One of the programs which I really wanted to talk about today is the Saskatchewan Immigrant Nominee program. I've made detailed videos about this program, how the point score works and all that. So you could look for the description of the link for that in the description of the video. But just giving you a summary, Saskatchewan Immigrant Nominee Program, it has two different streams. One is the express entry stream and one is the occupation in demand OID stream. They have 110 points grid of their own, wherein you score points for all those factors like age, language ability, work experience, education. Now, if you're somebody who is not based in Canada, who hasn't got a job offer from Saskatchewan, who hasn't got a relative in Saskatchewan, you haven't studied in Saskatchewan, the maximum points that you can score is 70. And this is where the issue was that previously a lot of draws that were happening, the qualifying scores were all 70 and above. So even 70 was competitive, and if it is 71 or 72 or 73, people who do not have a connection with the province were virtually without any chance of being invited. But lately what has happened is that they've had a few draws wherein the cutoff score was 68. Now 68 still is a competitive score, but it is a score where people from outside of Canada can have a good opportunity. I'll tell you about the various aspects or factors for which you get awarded a score, and then I'll tell you as to what I feel is a good potential applicant who's outside of Canada for this particular program. So they award you points for education, wherein if you have a master's degree, 18 years of education, you have the ECA for that. You get the maximum points. For language ability, they allocate you maximum points if you have CLB 8. So this is good, positive competitive, where you don't have to have a CLB 9 as is the case for express entry. And then in terms of work experience, they actually allocate you points for your work experience in last 10 years. So the way it works is that for last 5 years from the point that you're looking at, for each year you get 2 points, so that's 10 points, and then years 6 to 10 is where for each year you get 1 point. So basically you can have 15 points for 10 years of work experience within last. Then is your age. Now again, for age, they're good in the sense that the maximum points that you can have is if you are between 25 to 34 years of age. Again, comparing with express entry and some other PNP programs, where once you cross 30, you start losing points. The maximum points that you can have is up until 34. Now, having a look at this, ideally speaking, what I feel is a very suitable candidate for this program is somebody who has a master's level qualification, so you score maximum points over there. Somebody who has a CLB 8, so even if you don't have a CLB 9, you can still, and a lot of times people are missing out on CLB 9 in just one module. Writing a lot of times is the problem for people. So if you're in that boat, you still score the maximum points for language over here. Age, if you are above 30 and say you haven't crossed 34, like you're till 34, haven't crossed 35, you get maximum points. And even if you're above that 34-year age mark, you only lose 2 points. So if you score maximum points in all other aspects, you will still be standing at 68. And as I mentioned in last few draws, they've invited people on 68. So you can be in late 30s as well, as long as the other aspects that I mentioned, you're achieving highest points in that. And lastly, the work experience. As I mentioned, that they grant you 15 points if you have 10 years of work experience in last 10 years. If you're gaining maximum points for age, like you're not beyond 35, you're still into 34. Say, for instance, if you have 8 years of work experience in last 10 years, you will have 13 points for that, and that will bring you to 68 points. And again, you're competitive. But if, say, for instance, you score maximum points, which is 34 for age, which is up until 34, and you also have 10 years of work experience, now that will be a great opportunity, because you will then have 70 points and you'll be very competitive. And say, for instance, you are missing out on age, but you have 10 years of experience, so that's where you're still at 38. So a great opportunity. Now, in terms of occupation, this is not open to all occupations. They have a list of eligible professions. If you are within that eligible list of professions, you can be invited. But more recently, the draws that have happened, they've invited close to about 15 different professions, and it's a diverse range of professions. So I know information system is there, and lab and chemical and pathology lab technicians is there, construction managers, computer technicians. So there's a healthy number of professions that can be invited. So I'd greatly recommend that if you are interested in migrating through one of Canada's point-based PNP system, have a look at that, and this could be a great opportunity for those who would want to have an assessment done through us. You can go to our website, shariqimmigration.com, and on the homepage you'll find the option of booking a consultation, and I can have a look at your profile, and then I can suggest if this program suits you, or maybe any other program. So with this, I'll wrap it up. But for all those who've been stuck because of the COVID situation and have not been able to find the right PNP programs, if your profession is within the list, a great program to have a look, especially for people who are close to, say, mid 30s, late 30s, and have substantial experience, but age is what has been restricting them in terms of being invited. So with this, I'll wrap it up. Thank you so much for listening to me. Good luck in your Canadian immigration venture. And I'll see you again soon with another video. Till that time, take very good care of yourself and your families. Bye-bye, and Allah Hafiz.